Hey, horror fans, welcome back to another episode of Terror Talk where I discuss creepy clips online. The original horror music that you hear in these videos is composed by me. Now imagine being able to save on everyday expenses and put that money towards your next horror movie outing, spooky decor, or haunted carnival excursion. Be sure to watch all the way through as I have something that will help feed your next horror adventures. Now let's get into it and have some fun.
For several years, I've worked at an office building in the center of town. It's an online news and journalist company, and I'm one of the web developers. My job is usually just to make sure all the articles launch on the website properly, and to make sure the site runs smoothly and stays up 24/7. Now, we usually had an overnight worker, but
Have you ever had a job like that? Or do you know how to make websites? Let me know in the comments below. For me specifically, I actually do know how to make websites, and that is a skill that I do have, but let me know in the comments below if you enjoy making websites or if you've ever had a job like that. It actually sounds kind of like a cool job, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know in the comments below.
he had recently quit, and so the company kind of forced me to fill in until they could find someone else. At first, I didn't mind. I mean, how bad could it be? But I learned pretty quick that it was awful. I was the only one in the building working overnight. I had no one to talk to, and really nothing to do. I would just have to sit there by myself in a huge empty office. On this night, I was lucky enough to have a small project to do.
Yeah, that would be pretty terrible, wouldn't it? To just be alone all night in a building like that with no one else to talk to. That's kind of why, even during the day, I feel like it would be hard to talk to people in a job like that, but that's kind of why office jobs I'm kind of scared of, honestly, just because being stuck at a computer all day sounds like it would be pretty draining socially. And I like being in a work environment where there are people to talk to, even though that comes with a lot of cons, or can come with a lot of cons in itself. But yeah, what type of person are you? Let me know in the comments below.
It wasn't much, just adding a page to the website, but it kept my mind occupied for an hour. Once I finished it, though, I was back to just sitting and waiting. Eventually, I got up and made a cup of coffee, and decided to take a walk around the building. I had never explored any of the other floors or rooms before, so I was both bored and curious. I stepped into the stairwell and walked up to the top floor. All the lights were off, except for the one in the hallway. I walked down and casually looked into a few rooms, but there wasn't anything interesting, so I started walking back to the stairwell. But then a sound came from below me. It was a door squeaking open, or at least it sounded exactly like it. I knew nobody else was in the building with me, so it sent a chill through my body. I quickly calmed myself, though, and thought it was probably just a pipe in the walls, or the building making some other sound. I walked back down to the third floor and began walking down the hallway toward my room, but something caught my eye. A door to one of the other rooms was open. I don't know why, but I felt like I remembered all the doors being closed. I didn't know if this was my brain playing tricks on me, or what, but for some reason, I just knew that door was closed. I walked over to it and looked into the room. It was a large office, just like mine, with rows of cubicles in the middle. All the lights were off, so only the thin line of light from the hallway.
I feel like this would be a pretty unsettling thing to hear something like that and to go exploring, because if you think you're alone at night in a building and then you go exploring like that, like, I don't know about you, but I would be really scared. Like, if I'm supposed to be alone and I'm going exploring for someone, like, yeah, I don't know. I would be very, that would be very unsettling to me.
Seeped into the room. Hello? Is someone in there? I called out, but my voice echoed through the hollow room with no reply. Another chill ran through me, and I closed the door, then went back to my office and sat at my desk. I chugged my coffee and rubbed my eyes, trying to get my head together. I checked the time, and it was a bit past 2 a.m., so I just had a few more hours to get through. I ended up scrolling through my emails and wasted another 10 minutes before I heard it again. That same exact sound, this time noticeably coming from somewhere on my floor. I stood up, and with my heart racing now, I hurried to the door leading into the hallway. I opened it and looked out. That same door across the hallway was now open again. I felt my stomach tighten and my body go numb. Something was seriously wrong now. I decided there was no better time to leave than right now, as I wasn't going to risk looking around again. I stepped into the hallway and started hurrying towards the stairs. As I did, I heard a footstep behind me. I quickly glanced back. There was a woman standing in the hallway, not far from the office I just came from. She looked disheveled, with tangled long dark hair, and her eyes wide open, making her look completely insane. I ran for the stairs and continued all the way down to the bottom floor.
Wow, that would be quite the sight to see, huh? Just a disheveled woman like that. Sorry, I wasn't saying that word right. But, yeah, that would be crazy to see something like that, especially right in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. Like, I don't know. That would be very, very weird. And I think he's right to run, even though it's a woman. Who knows if she's dangerous or not. But yeah, that would be super creepy.
I heard her footsteps behind mine for a second, but then it sounded like she stopped chasing. I called the police once I felt I was safe. What's crazy is I had eyes on the back door, and the main hallway camera could see the front door. But when police showed up, they couldn't find her inside the building. None of the doors were unlocked or broken either, so how she got in or out is a mystery. For the next couple weeks, the company hired an overnight security guard, but I was still terrified. Every night, I would be constantly looking over my shoulder, thinking that woman could have snuck back inside, and with no other info on her, there's no saying what she was trying to do.
Yeah, I think this is a really creepy story because it almost sounds like that was a supernatural or paranormal experience, because if he was watching the door at the end to make sure no one came out and they didn't see anything on the cameras, like, then what the hell was that? Was it a ghost? Do you believe in stuff like that? Because I most certainly do. I think he had a paranormal encounter, which I think is like super cool. But yeah, I thought this was a creepy story, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary and the music, and I will see you in the next video.